Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Coffee Talk. I have a special guest today, Heiderose Scheerer. I hope I pronounced that correctly. From
That's
Germany.
close enough.
Say it properly for me.
Heiderose Scheerer.
Okay. Heiderose Scheerer.
Wow.
I'm good. I'm good at like mimicking and
Yes.
voices. Okay.
There is also a Swabian part of it where you just say Scherer. And then this is in High German, you would say Scherer. So somewhere in between. And yeah, what if it's not that significant?
Yeah, I know. So it's so funny because sometimes I see people that I feel like I've known, but their name was a different name before. And so every time, even though I know them now, I want to call them the other name. And it's always the same wrong name for them now. Do you
Yeah,
ever do
and
that?
yes, who knows how often you met and they actually had that name.
Exactly. And yeah, it's just funny. That
Yes.
used to be something I would make myself wrong for, not remembering people's names. And but I was like, why do I always have it the same wrong name? There's got to be something there.
Yeah. And how cool that you got over making yourself wrong, but just having fun with it.
Yeah. My goodness, that is a process, isn't it?
Yes, a lifelong process.
Not making yourself wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're taught to make ourselves wrong from when we're very little. We see everyone else around us making themselves wrong, them making us wrong, them making other people wrong, as if this was the only way of being in the world. And then when we get to know another way of being in the world, very often it takes a long, long time to let go of what we're so used to.
It's funny as you're saying that, it's reminding me of going on a bike ride with my family, my kids. When they were in like middle school and high school. My daughter was in high school, and I think we like got out of the driveway and she, did something funny and fell over and was so embarrassed, thought everybody was staring at her, like there was nobody around. But she was at that teenage year where she was hypercritical of herself. And I completely forgot about it. And recently we've been riding bikes together. She's been riding her bike to work, and I'll ride part way and go to a coffee shop and then go home. And she was telling me about that and how she never used to want to ride bikes because she didn't think she could, because she fell at the beginning of a ride and like it just hurt her too much. But she was like, that's when I was really self-critical, and now she's not. She's like 26 years old, so she got a jump start on the non-judgment of self.
Yeah, wow, how cool is this? And wow, how did she get so lucky to have you as a mom? So she experienced something different and she saw a different way of being in the world.
Yeah, she's pretty remarkable. A lot of the Access kids are. I mean, she was 6 when I started Access, so
Mhm.
she's had a lot of exposure to it. And even though, those teenage years were similar to other people's teenage years, it wasn't quite as tough, I guess.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Did
do you
it
have
work
kids?
for you? Yes, I have 2 adult kids. My daughter is 31 or 32. Oh, wait a second.
I
Yeah,
know.
31. She will be 32 in a few months. And my son is 28.
Nice.
Yes. And they're also amazing. And it's hilarious how much more they are actually using the access tools than I would have ever guessed, because they were in their teenage years already when I found access. But all my life, I've always been interested in finding different ways to be with each other. So I come from Germany, from a Swabian family, and they are famous for their communication styles like hmm, 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 hmm. Well, that was a conversation, and
You have to be telepathic.
yes, actually, really, and you develop that to an extent where this "who does this belong to" comes in very, very handy.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I always wanted to have a different way of communicating with my kids. So when they were little, I started to go to family conference and just to get this camera view of things without the entire drama behind what we see when we look at something. And then I started with nonviolent communication. And I've also been into holistic medicine for over 25 years. And so whatever I found, I also used with my patients. And I've always been searching for stuff, yet with a nonviolent communication, I didn't really get it because I didn't take a class. I just read the books. And so very often I would sit there and bottle up and be so angry, thinking I should not be angry at my kids, or I should not be angry about a situation, or I should, whatever, do better. To an extent that my kids actually, when they started to say, please, please, never ever use that nonviolent communication stuff again. Please yell at us, because they notice, kids know
It's
you
so
better.
true.
Psychotherapist after 40 years, and they just wanted to have me and for me to be who I am, and with everything. And I really could not imagine someone would just take me for who I am and wanted me with the things I didn't accept about myself, like getting angry about something. So they were really great teachers for the being you part, or the being me part, that then when I found the access tools were so wow to me. Not only my kids, but obviously other people too enjoy us way more when we're just being us.
Yeah, all that stuff that you think you have to hide and hold back, and yeah, it's so funny. Yesterday I finished up a holiday fair. I'm a jeweler also, and so I had this big display, and it was a 2-day show. And instead of packing up everything and then resetting it up, they said you can just leave it out. And I wasn't going to just leave jewelry just sitting there, right? So I had from many years of doing shows, I had this other cloth that I could put over, but it's like sheer and sparkly. And for a long time, like, I bought it because I loved it and I thought it was cool. But for a long time, I was embarrassed to put it up because it was so sheer and sparkly and pretty and, princess-like. And people used to tease me about princess, but I just used it and embraced it, and have been, for a long time, embracing the princess in me. And everybody was like, oh my God, I love your sheer thing. It's so pretty. And it's like everything you do has this light and sparkly energy to it. And I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I got over that. I mean, it's just crazy, insane self-criticism over nothing.
Yes. And isn't it also interesting how people used to tease you about it when you thought you were wrong for having it? And now that you just enjoy it, people actually tell you how much they love it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And also the princess thing, how many people would love to be treated as princess, yet they don't admit because they were told that they are totally wrong and they're not supposed to be a princess. Yeah, so how cool that you now can say, yeah, I'm a princess, so bring it on.
Embrace your inner princess and let people contribute to you. It's wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. And I think it's with all the things that we think we're wrong because we heard how other people were made wrong or someone actually criticized for being like that. And we really bought that there is a right and wrong way of being and how we're supposed to be and what's totally unacceptable. And what if this is really just a bunch of lies?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What did I hear that Dane was saying? It might have been on the Earth Wizard thing yesterday. Um, people who are like really, who play small and pathetic and like not potent and powerful, probably had something that happened that they did that was super powerful when they were young and were made so wrong for it that they shut it all down. And so
Yes.
I've just been like pondering that, like, wow, what was, I mean, not that I play super pathetic, but I'm coming out of it. I used to hide a hell of a lot more and
Uh-huh.
and be at the effect more, but there's always more to uncover. So I've just been playing with that question and perceiving a lot of like light and joy that was there when I was a child that's starting to emerge now, but there's a lot more.
Yes. Yes,
How does it get
really.
better?
Yeah, how does it? Yeah, and when we're just being us, how often do we really disturb others in their unhappiness? And it reminds them of how they once were and how they were treated, and so on and so on. And what a gift when we are aware of all of this and we just make different choices. So others are inspired to do the same and to just be who they are.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
then others judge the hell out of them. They just don't care because, like, when you are at ease with who you are and what you are, yeah, why would you care if someone judges you?
Right. And I know, like, with my kids, when they were little and they did something fantastic, magical, miraculous, I was so excited about it. I can't imagine why somebody would freak out and try to turn that off in their child. I don't even want to imagine why.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they live a life where they are used to being stressed out. And
Mm.
like you have different needs, like you as a parent, when you're silent and your kid right now wants to be loud, instead of telling the kid, well, wow, I'm really, really in dire need of some silence. And obviously, you're very alive. Could you maybe go outside and scream there or whatever, Like really talk about what your need is instead of making someone wrong. Hey, you're wrong for being loud. No, you're not wrong yet. This is whatever, not what I require right now.
Yeah.
And very often we just learned to accuse other people or to make them wrong in order to control them instead of asking them for their contribution. Maybe the kid has an even greater idea of what to do that we would not even, whatever, we wouldn't even get.
Yeah. They're curious and inquisitive and can see things from many more perspectives. It's really cool to invite that in.
Yes. And also to teach them some of these tools like expanding. Oh my gosh, this was one of the greatest gifts to like my kids and myself too,
Mm-hmm.
because I've been so noise sensitive and
Mm-hmm.
I get so many information at once that sometimes I just wanted to hide under a rock or whatever. This is why I love to go scuba diving, because it's just you've got silence, and you can have a nice conversation with the fish. It's just silent. And my kids, when they were at school, very often they came home and they were so exhausted because it was so loud.
Yeah.
And then to be able to tell the kid, well, expand. And what else are you aware of? Because very often it's not just the noise that we hear, it's also energetic noise. It's being aware of everybody's thoughts, feelings, emotions, of all the energies, people with and without bodies. And when you have this awareness, this could be a little bit overwhelming when you don't have the tools to deal with. There are so many kids that are just labeled or diagnosed with ADS, ADHD, whatever. And what if they had the tools? Like, who does this belong to? And expand. And if you are expanded, really, really expanded, it just doesn't have any effect on you. You're not at the effect of it.
Yeah. You become bigger than it, and it doesn't overpower you.
Yep. It's I love to explain this to my clients also, like when you have a tiny glass of water and then you have some ink, like we have pens where you put the ink in, like, and if you take the ink into this one tiny shot glass of water, then you can see it quite clearly. And now if you take the same amount of ink and you put it into in an entire bucket of water, what happens? Or if you pour it into a bathtub or into a lake or into the sea. And I'm not suggesting that you litter lakes and the sea with ink yet. It just doesn't have an effect on you. It's there, yes, and it doesn't bother you, and it doesn't change who you are and what you are or how you feel or how you're doing.
Yeah. Yes, that's one of my favorite tools as well. And for years, I did a weekly expanding on one of my Facebook groups. And I'm taking a little bit of a break of doing that every single week. But I also do it myself every day. And it just, it allows you to have awareness of, I like to call it the channel of you, or the energy of you. Because like you're this big satellite dish picking up all these different stations of trauma and drama and upset. And they're all TV shows. But, can you turn it to the channel of you?
Yep.
What would that be like? And tune into that. So make that bigger.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't ever even get a chance to tune into the channel that they are, because they have no idea who they actually are.
Yeah.
Due to this permanent thoughts, feelings, emotions carousel they're on. And to really notice, well, who am I? Like, if like 99% of all thoughts, feelings, emotions aren't mine, whose thoughts, feelings, emotions are they?
Right.
And who am I? And then really to get this, like, sometimes when you just start asking questions, well, if it's not mine, but then whatever, where does the next thought come from? And where does the next thought come from? And then it starts to slow down. And then maybe you get a gap in between two thoughts where you get a glimpse of who you be. Like sometimes this might be very energetic, very vibrant. Sometimes it's just peace and calm, that you get to the point where you notice the vibration that you truly be. And then you can bathe in it, indulge in it, and expand that.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people really wonder, well, who or what am I if I'm not my thoughts, feelings, and emotions? And then, yeah, what if we just went beyond and we got the vibration, and also that this is all it requires? What if this is all, yeah, that it takes to be here? Just be here and vibrate. And what if there was way less doing necessary?
Yeah. And you don't have to have this definition of who you are. You can actually every day, like Gary says, every day, who am I today? And what grand and glorious adventure will I have? And like he truly is living that and being that.
Yeah, yeah, that's an amazing tool, and I really love this. And also, hey, universe, show me a miracle. And
Yes.
really ask for this. What
Yeah.
grand and glorious adventures can I have? And hey, universe, show me something I've never experienced before, or show me something nurturing, kind, and caring, or whatever. And then you ask this in the morning, and at night, you scan through your day and you see in how many different ways the universe provided whatever you were asking for.
Oh, somebody just posted a comment. Oh, but I can't see it. It went away.
On your Facebook page.
Yeah, something. I think she starts her day with something, but for some reason it went away. Thank you for watching. Yeah. It's such a nice space, and it's really fun to talk with different people, different certified facilitators from around the world, and like just the different energies that we all be, and to play together, and it creates this magical space.
Yes. And it's also amazing that wherever you go in the world and you meet people, that you can have these conversations and, yeah, contribute to each other. And also remind each other what tools there are, and playing with the tools and really living them, being the walking, talking toolbox. Yes.
So let's ask the people who are watching now and in the future, what have you thought was so wrong about you that is actually the strongness of you? And everything that doesn't allow that to show up with ease, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, poads, and beyonds. What else is possible?
Yeah, beyond our wildest imagination. And also, what have you never dared to ask for because you were so convinced, without maybe even noticing, that you were so convinced that this wasn't for you, or you couldn't have it, or you weren't allowed to be that, like the princess that you mentioned before? Whatever it is. Yeah, what is it that you have never, ever even dared to ask for, that you could now ask for? And you could receive it if it's, yeah, once the delivery is here, also receive it and close the door and lean against it.
No, I couldn't possibly.
Yes, exactly. No, I don't. Thank you. I don't need that. So everything that doesn't allow you to receive everything that you would like to ask you, or never even considered to ask for, will you destroy and uncreate all of this? Yeah. Writer and good Lion shirts by poets and beyonds.
Yes. I've just started listening to Gary's new book, The Gift of Allowance.
Wow. Yeah.
I think that's going to be such an amazing gift in the world. I hope people will get it. Even just listening to the first couple minutes sample on Amazon,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, the way he uses stories and normal words to convey energies, it blows apart your world, and you start to see where you solidified wrongness and judgment and negative points of view and stuff that aren't actually real, and they just melt.
Yeah. Like in the first chapter where he described how the kid and the ant were driving around, and the ant would keep on telling him what he couldn't have or why he couldn't have it.
Right.
And yeah, it's just an interesting point of view. It's just a belief someone has. And if you see that it's not real, it's just their perspective, it's just their point of view, and you just took it on, you bought it and made it yours, and you paid a very high price. So could you just give it back, return it to senders?
Yeah. Yeah. He was saying something about, yeah, I'm aware of all of that stuff. I'm aware of people's points of view, and he doesn't fight it. He's just like, okay, I see your point of view, but I'm choosing something different. And that is the allowance, instead of fighting against or aligning and agreeing, to just be, I see your
Yes.
point of view and I raise you.
All in.
Like in
Yeah.
poker.
Yeah. And sometimes it can be challenging at times when people have points of views. We just cannot. Yeah, that's like so, like the idea is so foreign, or it's so strange. Or yeah, when people who judge other people, or who judge the hell out of other people, and you just wonder, why would they do that? Why would they take all the energy? And there is so much righteousness in there, and to really not even go there and waste your energy or whatever, and just go, oh yeah, it's just a point of view. It's not even who they are, it's just their point of view. And also that we have an interesting point of view. It's just a point of view, and when we make a step aside, we look at it from a different angle. We have a different point of view. And yeah, how much more ease can we all have with seeing, wow, actually everything someone ever says, it's a summary of their life experience and ideas. And why would we make this more valuable than what's inside of us? So
Yes. How does it get better?
it's an easier and even more interesting. Yeah.
Well, cool. So we have a couple minutes left. Do you have any fun things coming up that you're creating?
Oh yeah, I have a Boris class next Saturday, and then on Sunday I have a Being You with Money class. So it's always pretty handy when people who were at a Boris class can like keep on practicing the very next day, and you
Nice.
can also join online, because a few people are probably going to travel to a Boris class to Germany. And then I have foundation coming up. And in between Christmas and the New Year, I have a relationships then different class coming up. That's also in many languages. And you can come to this wonderful place. We have a castle too here, and a wonderful river, in case you want to take a little vacation. And of course, you can also join us online.
Very nice. Awesome. Well, it was really good to see you again, and thank you for joining me. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And if you like these conversations, share it with your friends, and yeah, send me some questions that you'd like us to address. That would be fun.
Awesome. So thank you for having me. Thank you for everyone watching this. And yeah, what questions can you ask today? And yeah, how much fun being you can you have?
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.